now. Start going live on Facebook. Sweetie, if you want to explain why you're in your bathing suit, tell everybody.
And why we are in two different places. So, yesterday we talked a lot about, really what we're out is to have this abundant life, right? This freedom to be able to go out and do what you want, when you want to do it, how you want to do it. And you are in control of your life. So I have family that live in Ohio. I actually have a daughter that lives in Ohio, and she took a very impromptu trip after this was already planned to be in Orlando. And so we had mapped out that I am spending the day with my daughter today in Orlando. So I'm actually in the business suit of this beautiful resort down in Orlando today. And I will be back standing next to Chad as normal tomorrow. But that's what this is all about, right? Is being able to create this life and show our children what's possible and to really live this life of freedom, right? And I couldn't possibly say, hey, let's go have freedom if I didn't have it myself. So here I am. I am in my bathing suit, but we're gonna rock it today, and it's perfect.
Yes, super pumped. And I love being able to have this life where we can, head to Orlando on a whim, or we spend a lot of our time in Austin, and just being able to have that locational time, all the freedoms, right? And so that's what it's about. So super pumped about what we got going on today. I'm gonna actually lead. Who's familiar with priming? Anybody been to a Tony Robbins event and learned some priming? So we're gonna do. Eston, do you have the? Just let the people in. You have co-hosts, so you can rock that. That'd be super awesome.
Before we start getting going, I want to say, what we're out to do is really create an experience. There's a lot of trainings and things online, and as you're going out there and creating these trainings and stuff too, it's what we want to make everything that you do online really an experience that lands for other people, that it's not like this boring, I'm just going to this thing and I'm going to learn this thing, but when you can really create the energy. And again, this is all energetics and the strategy put together. So we're going to do something really fun to kind of get the energy up and moving, get your blood pumping so that your brain is clear. Anything that was in our meetings or things that happened earlier this morning, we're just going to get them all out of the way so we can be really present and in just a really good energy. Would that be okay with anybody? And again, as always, this is a conversation. The more you engage, the more it's just fun. So we don't feel like we're talking to ourselves on a screen.
Yeah, so and it's also it's actually a good thing to practice in your marketing is getting permission, right? If people are bought into what you're up to, it's going to be more effective. So if you are okay with us doing some high, some breath work, some priming, some really to get the energy up here and really kind of transform the space, drop in the chat yeah. And if for some reason you're not, that's cool too. I guess you don't have to do it. You don't have to do anything.
No, this is not a forced exercise. You don't have to do anything.
Exercise, but my voice is quiet. Let me see what I can do on that.
That is something you don't hear very often, and I say that with so much love.
Is that better? Voice better, sound better? Let me just get confirmation.
Great to see you too, or Alicia. Great to see you.
Yeah. Okay. Good here. Volume. Okay. Good. All right. I'm gonna rock some music. This is
possible, and
actually really the music from our podcast intro. So if you haven't subscribed to Quantum Impact Coach, you definitely want to. But where did that?
All right. And so don't worry about looking silly. I know a lot of you guys' camera's off, all good. We're going to do this too. This is not about a looking good. This is about a feeling and the energy and let's go and really do this. So just shake off everything you got. Get in your seat. Let's get ready to have some fun and learn at the same time. That's the best.
So how this goes is you're going to take your hands and you're going to ball them up right here. And then you're going to go up. And every time you go up, you're going to completely expel out of your nose. And so I'm going to hit the music. We're going to do this for a few minutes, get the energy up, and Get that. Keep going. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to set the attention for what you're going to get out of this training and out of this challenge. To set the attention, what would be an ideal situation? What would that be like if you could walk away from this training? What would that allow you? So write that down. And when you have this energy, like that changed some state, right?
And you guys feel any different than what you did when you first got on the Zoom? Yes. No, we literally do that exercise before every training, before every live, before anything that we ever do. We do some sort of priming and then or act silly or giggle or laugh or all of the above. Because when you're going out there and you're creating content and you're, you know, whether you do live or training or whatever that looks like, it is your energy, and it's even your energy plus like 10 so that it can come across. So when other people see it, it like goes through the screen and into the ether webs, and you know, other people feel it as well. So that's the exercise that we do before all of our trainings, before anytime we ever go live. We're priming and getting our blood pumping and moving and going. So
yes. So just drop in the comments, let us know what you're feeling right now, what your intentions are, all that good stuff, and who's excited to get this day started. Woo!
awesome. Good. Screen and into the ether webs, and you know, other people feel it as well. So is there a delay somewhere?
No, we're good.
Okay.
So reverb. Awesome. All right, let's get started. You take it away.
Yeah, let's get started. So I just want to do a quick recap of yesterday. Was yesterday helpful for everybody? You know, we really dove into your perfect person and who you're speaking to. And we can't create content for them unless we know exactly who you're speaking to. Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, so if anybody had like freaking mind-blowing transformations, like mind shifts, and like just got a shit ton of value from yesterday, and want to come out and talk about that, like feel free to like raise your hand. We got a lot of new people on here. We got a couple of people that were on yesterday.
You guys, hey Liz.
To share. And just want to go over. So one of the things we talked about was how can you attract clients that like you can make like the hugest at the quantum impact, right? What quantum impact means is you can make the biggest transformation with the smallest amount of energy. And that's who we want to attract clients that we can make the biggest impact with the least amount of energy. And so that's one thing we learned yesterday. The other thing we learned was that how to attract the people that you actually love to work with, the people that like that you would like, hey, come stay at my house, let's go out to eat. Like not the opposite of like an energy vampire, the opposite of the person that knows it all, the opposite of, you know, all of that, right? So like how to attract the people that actually love working. And then third is how to attract the client that actually has the money to pay you, and how to feel good about it. Because if you can feel good about it, then you can, you know, then your business feels good. And then how to actually create contribution through making a ton of money in your business. And that was that's one of the main things we talked about. Anything else you wanted to recap from yesterday, sweetie?
No, just do what you love in the service of people who love what you do. That's like the basis of all of this, the foundational work.
Mm-hmm. So, cool. Well, let's get rolling.
Yeah. So something about us is that you will discover is that it's not just all strategy, it's the energetic side of it too. So there you have this energetics and the strategy. We're putting it together to make sure it's like this coherent alignment of yourself, your strategy, who you are, and bringing it out into the world. So what we want to do today is give you a cool strategy. Actually, let me ask you guys, would it be okay if I gave you guys a strategy that would help you create endless content ideas and make sure it's in alignment with who you are? Would that be valuable if I gave you guys that today?
And how to structure it. Like, so there's two types of people here, and how you'll get into it. It's like people that have tons of content ideas, and then there's the people that have a ton of content ideas, but how to structure it in a way that it actually lands for their clients, that's effective. Like, who would want to know that side of it? And I'm curious, who's the people that have the ton of the ideas that need the structure, and who's the ones that need the help coming up with ideas of content?
I see you over there, Tim. Both. Yes, that's me. Awesome. Both. Cool. We're going to do a little bit of both for sure. I'm going to make sure everybody on here gets some big value on creating content today. And I'm going to share some things with you guys today that literally I've only shared with clients. We decided this class, we're going to just go all out and share it all, right? When it comes to creating content and what we do and what we give. And we even have a cool little bonus if you're here every day at the very end that we're going to give to you. So what we do to really discover, we talk about alignment and who you are, and that could be a really loaded question sometimes, like, who are you? And you get the blind lights, like, I don't know, I am that I am, right? So what we do to really dive deep into who you are, we use two different modalities. So the first one is we use human design, and we use soul design. Have any of you guys ever heard of either one of these things? If you have, awesome. If you haven't, totally cool too. So human design, it's a mixture of all different types of things. It's got the chakra system, astrology, astronomy, the I Ching, quantum mechanics, genetics, like all types of things mixed into a system to be able to really create, like, talk about your design and different aspects. It goes very, very, very deep. And on the other side, soul design is really when literally I go into the quantum field. So as we talked about yesterday, everything is energy. Everything that we do in the world, energy never dies. So it gets imprinted into this like hologram, so to speak, there. And what you're able to do is access this information to really figure out who you are at soul level, what your gifts are, anything that's ever stopped you in your life. We just got done with a session yesterday. This woman said she would charge $4,000 just for the session that we had yesterday, because she was able to see for herself what happened when she was like 20 years old and how it is affecting her today and stopping her from really playing out. So it's really, really powerful work. So we have a couple people that is familiar with it. Awesome. So if you're not, that's totally cool. I do want to talk about chakras, and we're going to bring in for a moment why this is important in creating content. So stick with me for a little bit. If I talk about chakras, you guys know what I'm talking about? We have these energy centers. They've even been scientifically shown that they're imprinted in our body. Okay. So I'm gonna actually show you, can I share my screen here? So I just want to show you a quick sample. Oh, I have the Trello board open. Here we go. A quick sample. I'm actually going to show you guys ours. And I want to talk about specifically this top part. So if you can see, this is Chad's human design. And right up here by the head, if you can imagine, this is where you get all of your ideas. So being that he is a defined head center, this guy gets ideas while he's sleeping, when he's showering. The guy gets so many ideas, it's freaking crazy, right? And you may relate to this as well. When you have a defined head center like this, coming up with the ideas isn't the problem. It's how do you structure these ideas, right? That's more of the issue. So we're going to cover that. So don't worry, we got you. So now if you're undefined, this is actually my human design. As you can see, I'm a lot more open than what Chad is. And we're not going to go through all of this by any means. I just want to talk about this one piece of up here in your head center and how you can use this to create content and know how you create content best, whether it's you have all the ideas. Some people just don't have the ideas and they're like, how in the world, like, what do I post about? How do you even create content that much? And those people are probably 99% of the time, 99.5% of the time, have this open right here. So what that means is your ideas come from inspiration from other people. So I just wanted to show, I don't want to get into the depths and make this all about human design, because I want to take these tools, they're just that, they're just tools. Now, how do we take this stuff and bring it into the practicality of your life, right? Because we're not going all woo-woo here. We're going very practical. And when you can go practical and understand who you are, then like, okay, great. Chad, he's got all the ideas mapped out. Me, I need to sit back and go get inspired a little bit. And I'm inspired by other people's things, and not creating other people's things, but inspiration. We get inspiration and then we create our own, and we'll make that clear. So Lisa, that's me. Hard time coming up with content. Yeah, girl, me too. And it's not hard. You have a little bit of both. That's totally normal. And we're going to show you ways so that you have both. I want you guys, when you're leaving today, to know how to come up with ideas for your content, and then also how to structure your content so that it works for you. You take all those ideas and be able to get them out there. Is that okay? All right. I stopped looking at my notes. I don't even know where I'm at. All right, so let's start with the people, if you need that inspiration, you have both. There's people, I have a hard time coming up with content. Let's start there. So I use, this is something, again, I've never shared, I think, in a live class ever. Hey, Ashley, great to see you. So what I do to create content, and I have literally been doing this will work. When I say endless content for years, I have been using and doing this method for multiple niches for probably 8 years. And yeah, no worries, just great to see you here. All you missed was cool music, breathing, human design, nothing too exciting. You can watch the replay. So, so what you want, what's that?
FOMO there.
All right, so what I do to get creative ideas, you guys have all heard of Pinterest? I'm going to show you something really cool. All right, so let's play. If someone would like to drop who they came up with as their audience yesterday, who's that perfect person or the result that you give? I want to do this completely off the cuff just to show you that this can literally work in any single niche that you're in, no matter what it is that you do. Hey, Crystal, great to see you. Someone wanna play with me?
Empty nester solopreneurs.
Empty nester solopreneurs. All right, let's roll with it. Okay, so again, inspiration. So we are going to
Women over 50 wanting to get fit. I'm guessing that's it.
Yeah. I'm actually going to go with empty nesters because that was my first one and it's in my head. So literally you just go to the search bar, empty nesters. Now we are actually not going to go to any content because I am not about copying and taking other people's things. This is not what we're doing here. So I want to make that super, super, very, very clear. But what does make, if you can get inspired, so I'm going to give you some for empty nesters, how to make friends in your empty nest. That could be a whole piece of content that you're creating. Discover your empty nest purpose, right? After your kids leave, a lot of times parents feel like they don't have a purpose anymore. So just what are some tips that you can give people to help them discover their empty nest? 10 things happy empty nesters don't do. Maybe you look at that and you pick one of them and you can write all about that. 20 things, 30 things to do now. The kids have moved out. Sure, you could write something around there, create something. Feeling lost in your empty nest. Here's something that could help you out. How to overcome empty nest loneliness. That's totally.
So it's solopreneurs, just to be specific. So it's solopreneurs that are empty nesters. So
perfect. You may bring them together. You may have like empty nesters. There you go. Discover your empty nest. That could very well be a good one. I think you may have to look at empty nesters and then solopreneurs and
entrepreneur. It might be empty nesting entrepreneurs or growing your business as an empty nester or something of that nature, maybe. Because most solopreneurs don't think that they're a solopreneur.
Yeah, totally. So even if, and how you can bring that together. So 6 steps to survive empty nest syndrome from a novice. Obviously, like one of those things is a purpose, and like how do you create? So I think even like, especially being with entrepreneur, like ultimately, if it's specifically empty nest entrepreneurs, is getting the like, what are they going through as empty nesters first? And then how is that relating to their business? So you could take a little bit of both of these. So if you take the empty nester and then the entrepreneur and combine the two, because again, we're not copying, we're getting inspired for our own ideas.
Yeah, actually, I think I have something to add to this. It'd be super valuable.
Me
You
too.
both. So, there was who likes to be clickbaited? I'm curious on what you guys think of clickbaiting.
If it's good.
So I'm just curious, like, what's everybody's opinion on clickbaiting? Dropping a solopreneur is an entrepreneur that is just one person. So this is the thing. So I watched this on a reel, and this guy was really good. So he talked about clickbait is like a toupee. You only notice the bad clickbaiting, right? So clickbait that is not for right, like if you get what you want from the clickbait and it's valuable after you click, then you don't consider it clickbait. You actually consider it just it helped you get to where you wanted to go and learn something new or get some sort of valuable thing, right? So the same thing with a toupee, right? Like you only notice the bad ones. I don't mind clickbait if it's what I want. Exactly. So what we want to be is ethical clickbaiters, right? We want to be able to create clickbait that attracts people that they're like, holy crap. Like that's so good. Like I need that thing. Like it creates curiosity. It creates some sort of pull. And then when they click it, you actually give them whatever the thing was, right? And so it becomes yeah. So going back to Pinterest is a great place to learn how to be an amazing clickbaiter because you can use
Ethical one, again, because there's some that is just, it's absolutely horrendous, and I totally get it.
Yeah. So if you click on something and you show up to the page and it's not talking about anything to do with, or they go like down a completely different rabbit hole, or they're trying to sell you something that's not related to what you clicked on, then it's not ethical. It's not it's not integrous in your clickbaiting. But like if you create women over 50, here we go, 5 benefits of stretching in the morning for women over 50, and then
body shaping for women over 50, and there's so many.
yeah, you click on that and you go to the page and you learn some super valuable stuff, then isn't that like, aren't you excited about that clickbaiting?
Well, and really when we're creating content online, it's like that first line really is what brings people in. It's like, if you do, whether you do, and we're going to talk about the structure now you have the ideas. Now, how do you structure these ideas, right? Can I use the term women in sandwich generation? I would go test it, and maybe I don't even know what that means. So obviously I'm not in the sandwich generation. And do they know what that means? I'm actually curious.
That's important. Like they have, because sometimes we use lingo. This is another thing, and we're not going to get into this today. We have a training I think tomorrow on this. Is like a lot of coaches and healers and stuff, they get into the jargony stuff that normal people walking down the street have no effing clue on what the hell you're talking about.
But here's the thing, look, I just want to show you like how to take care of yourself when you're taking care of everyone else. 5 ways to set boundaries in your multi-generational home. There's a whole thing on the sandwich generation here. So self-care in the sandwich generation, 5 self-care tips for you. Caring for kids and parents, that's the sandwich generation. So you may even need to understand, educate it. I know this. See, I'm telling you guys, any niche, you can get some inspiration on here. And again, we are not copying. Have you seen me go to one? I have not gone to one website and I copied their stuff, not one. However, I just flew out probably 20 different things, like, I don't know, 10, maybe 10 different ideas for you guys to post about. I didn't even know about this, and parents is I love it. Yeah, I've never heard it either, but there we go. So it may be some educating there of what a sandwich. Oh, a sandwich is a plate. I don't know. So there's just may need to be some educating if that's what you're referring to, and creating content. It looks like there's a lot of content ideas on there and really talking about what that looks like to care for parents and children. And now I totally get it. That makes sense. Now that, thank you for letting me, for educating me. And I had no idea that was a thing.
We're so obsessed with food these days. It's like you got sandwich generation. You got like, dang girl, you're a snack. Like, this is just, anyways.
Yeah. So if you guys ever need ideas, this is the way. And my request is to never, ever, ever, ever copy anybody's stuff ever. It's not okay. It doesn't work. These are typical, like, honestly, only to get inspired of your first sentence or your first like idea, and then run with that. It is not to go take people's work and to put it on as your own. It is to get inspired by a headline and then create your own stuff. So I just want to be really, really clear, because I know, man, it takes something. Like, I write posts that are really long. And if someone were to take my post after I've spent like an hour writing it, it just, like, that's not good karma, and it's not integrity. And one of the biggest core values that we have is living in integrity. It matters. So use this trick to get inspiration. You can write some really great content about what it is that you're doing through it. Just don't copy. Cool.
So who's getting value from this? Awesome.
All right, so now for everyone who said that, all right, I got the ideas, this was great. How do I even, now what? I got the headline, cool. Now what do I do with it? Let's talk about that in some ways that you can take these headlines. What I like to do is I'll actually go through and do this about, depending, I'm always like in my flow, like I'm structured, but I have flow in between, and sometimes I just need to flow, but I have structure too. So this is one of those things I need to flow, but I do have it in my brain, like it's either once a week or once every 2 weeks or once a month. It really depends on like how my brain is functioning that day, I guess. I don't know, but I'll have like a planner. And I actually have a planner specifically just for content. So I'll sit down and I will go through Pinterest and I'll just write like the headline that I found. I was like, oh, that could be good. Oh, this could be good. Oh, this could be good this day. And then what I'll do is when at least if I have it on my planner, then when the day comes, so, tomorrow comes, I'm like, all right, I need to post something. I'm not sitting there like, what do I need to post? What should I post about? And, I used to do that, and I'd spend like half of my morning figuring out what I needed to post. And then the next day, like the afternoon, it was posted. And then I just took a whole day, and that is so draining of your energy. So when you can just have it in front of you, like, okay, Wednesday, we're going to talk about stretching and why it's important for women after 50. Cool. Got it. And so then when you sit down, it's clear. This is what I'm writing about today. Done. And it's done. And then you can go swimming with your kids or whatever your jam is. So you're saying it's okay to take someone else's headline. You don't even have to take the headline. It's I'll write the headline down, and I don't necessarily use like 10 things to blah, blah, blah. I'll bring it into a story on how it relates to me. So for example, this week in our group Coaches for Transformation, last week, I wanted to talk about content and give ideas about content so that it was leading up to the content challenge. And I was already giving some value beforehand. So I went on Pinterest and content creation, and I got some ideas about what I could talk about. And there was some things that was like 10 must-dos in your content creation. All right, well, I don't want to do all 10 and I don't want to copy this person, but must-haves in your content, that's a good one. I can roll with that. So then I start talking, so when I created it into the actual post, I would talk about creating content every day can be exhausting for people. Right? And I actually led with that. Or like, have any of you guys, I can't remember word for word, it's in the coaches for transformation, like have any of you guys struggled to create content every single day and it can get exhausting and burnt out? Let me share a few tips with you. And then I shared some of the tips. So I got inspired by the headline and then I brought it into a story and created a post that way. Then this content can be repurposed. Absolutely, it can be repurposed. I think all content, if you're taking the time to use it, all of it can be repurposed. Yep, for a long time too.
Hey, sweetie, not to throw into a curveball, but would it be valuable just because you want to show the 13 types? Would it be legible or make sense to just share the Trello board and like go through?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
All right. So again, I want to share it with you guys.
Types of content that we use in our marketing that, you know, done $100,000+ a month in sales, made a huge impact with clients, and now our clients are, you know, doing 100. And I think one of our clients just did their first 80, well, a few years ago, came through our program. He left the program and now he's doing $84,000 a month. He was at zero like 2 years ago. We've just had a client have her first 50K month last month, and several clients doing 20 and 10 and so on and so forth, 1,000 a month. So who wants to see it?
So this is, this is what we give to our clients. And this is the system that we follow for ourselves. So let me go ahead and share a screen because these are for the people, you have all your ideas. Now let's go and structure the content. Right now, what I found, and I've literally been dissecting, I look at content as, I look at all of this. Sometimes I feel like I'm a scientist, like experimenting with all of the things. And I've been experimenting for probably a little over 8 years now of what types of different posts there are and how to do all of this. So I'm a systems person. I like to put things into systems and dissect stuff and create from there. That's just how I am. So when you're creating your content, there's different types of posts that are really effective. And when you do the same thing over and over and over and over, it may work great, but then people stop listening or paying attention because it's always this long story, cute picture. Okay, what's next? Or it's always just alive, just alive, just alive, just alive, just alive. And then like nobody watch it. Like, what about the people that don't watch lives, right? So what you want to do when you're structuring and creating your content is to add some variety. Literally, variety is, it's a human need. We all need variety.
Hold on 1 second. Can everybody see the board? Because it has on my screen, it has us too. And then like it's the share thing is in like a tiny thing. And I had to, I pulled the line like over and it squeezed us into a smaller spot. And then
How's that?
Might be better. I don't know. You could see it just fine. Okay, then I'm just creating issues that's not there. Cool.
You're good.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right, so now if you guys want to take a screenshot of this or write it down, here's a little cheat sheet. I told you guys we're going to give it all to you. So these are literally the 13 different types of content that we've discovered. So we can go through them pretty quickly. So the engagement post is like literally just asking a question. So if going back to Pinterest and we're working on that stretching, why stretching is important after 50, and you want to use this into an engagement post, it could be, how many of you guys have a stretching routine every morning?
That's good.
Right. And then start a conversation. So engagement posts start conversations.
Yeah.
You're asking a question.
Yeah, that would be a great question if it's a group of your perfect client. If you want to be more specific with it and it's like a more broad group, then you say for the women, are the women over 50 in here who has a stretching routine? Curious, question mark, something of that nature.
Yep. So story post is another type of post. So a story post is you're taking, maybe your story about how you discovered stretching and why it's so important and what happened when you started applying this kind of thing. So it's literally taking that. People love stories, right? When yesterday, if you guys noticed in the very beginning, we're sharing these stories with you about how we created our model and how we discovered that working with everyone was a really bad idea, why alignment is so important to us and why it matters, right? So you want to take stories, you have stories, your clients have stories, sharing stories combined with value. Lives are a great way where people can really get your energy. So I don't think lives, I like doing live challenges. I don't know if you've seen those. It gets people confident and get practice on the camera, but I think it needs to be more than just lives across the board. I think you need story posts, you need a little bit of all of these.
So we have somebody on right now that took our live challenge. That was the first time they were a client that got amazing results. If you'd like to share, I don't know, Mr. Papa, are you available to share?
I am.
Let me stop.
What was it, about 47 years ago, I think? It was I don't know, before the pandemic or right at the beginning of the pandemic. The live challenge Holly put out was to create a live video, a 1 to 2 minute video every day for 30 days. I actually did it for 60 days, created 60 live videos, put them on my channel, on my YouTube channel, and over that time, started the Missing Piece for Entrepreneurs, a page that went in a direction. I've since changed that direction, but created about, I don't know, Chad, do you remember what it was? It was around 13,000 in income, I think.
Yeah, I remember you launched one group of program and you filled. We had to convince you to up your prices to 1,200.
Right.
I helped you with that, and then you filled up a program in like a week. So yeah, there was like 10 people in that one, and then you launched another 3-4 people, and yeah, I don't know, you.
And then soccer season came, and I went back to the field and started chasing another little shiny object. So, but I'm back, and we're looking to repeat that with a new process called Combat Brain Training, and you and I are going to have a conversation about that the next day or two. But thank you for asking.
Appreciate you, man.
Amen.
All right, let me go back and I just want to knock these out. So yeah, lives are really powerful. People can really get your energy. Overcoming objections, right? Everybody has different objections, why they don't want to go to a retreat, why they don't want to start working out and eating healthy, why they don't want to, everyone has something, right? So if you even if you take overcoming objections and create a story, maybe there was a client that had that same objection, there was a parent and there's no way that she could leave, or whatever that is, and share that objection and how they were able to overcome it. So that way other people can see that story. So if they're going through that in their own mind, they can see that it's possible and it's something that they can overcome as well. So those can be really great. How-to posts are exactly how they sound. 5 tips on how to get a freaking amazing abs over 50. Alicia's abs are phenomenal. If anyone could do a how-to post on that, this is this woman. So how-to anything. It could be, 3 ways to be able to overcome stress within 3 seconds, or whatever it is that you do, just give some value, just share openly. The lists and how-tos always work really great. Pain problem. I think it's important, anymore we're shifting. I think people don't necessarily like diving into their pains, and at the same time, it does hey, this is the pain. This is what I do. This is literally what I do, right? So talking about that real quick. When I did that content post, I know that people get so frustrated with trying to come up with new ideas, being there every day, plus you're coaching, plus you're getting clients, and there's all these things you can burn out. So I spoke to that, because then I actually did a how-to. So you can even start combining some of these together. So I spoke to the pain and the problem, and I gave a how-to for a solution. So that could be another way that you do it. Your experiential overcoming post. This is more your story. Why are you a coach? Because I know that you're a coach for a reason. You do what you do for a reason. You have your story. It's powerful. Share it. The method process. So this could be very similar to a how-to, but if you have a particular method that you've created over the years, like we showed you our methodology with the circles yesterday of the attract, the enroll, the transform, talk about the method, and that could be a post in itself. Proof. So proof is like your social proof. You've worked with clients, I just worked with this client here. Maybe you have testimonial videos. Maybe you have an interview that you've done with them. Maybe they've shared something with you. So you're sharing like proof. Lifestyle is exactly what it sounds like. You would be amazed. People want to know you as a person. Like here I am, I'm in my bathing suit. I'll take a picture of me and my kids outside when we're done later on. Boom, lifestyle post right there. Got it. So you don't have to go to like cool resorts to have lifestyle. This could be if you're in your garden and you love gardening. Guess what? If you share your love of gardening and like behind the scenes of your life, people start like, oh, wow, that's amazing. Like, I like that too. Ayurveda and yoga are huge. Like, I love yoga and I do it every single morning. And Ayurvedic, it can be I'm very aware of my doshas, right? So, and that's not my business, but I can still talk about it. And I do still talk about it. And guess what? We've gotten clients who are Ayurvedic specialists or like yoga, who do a little bit more than yoga. They take yoga and put it into the mindset too and transform things. And they work with us because they know that I understand Ayurveda and yoga. Right? So don't be afraid to share just because it's not it's got to be in this box, nothing else but this box, because that's just going to box you in. And none of us were created for a box. So beliefs, these are your beliefs, what you believe in. Like for us, what we stand for is we stand for people who, who are out to make a huge difference in the world. We believe that the coaching industry in itself is the catalyst for transformation in the world. Coaches are so necessary and needed now more than ever. That's a belief that we hold. Now, there's some people out there that just crash the coaching industry right now. I don't care. I am not one of them. I'm a stand for coaches, no matter what, no matter how you're marketing, no matter what you're doing matters. And I'm a stand for that. So share your beliefs and what it is that you're stand for, because people are going to like, yeah, me too, or not my person. No, thank you. And it's okay either way. Next one is an A or B post. This is a post where you're like, we've done it for some of our trainings. It's like, hey, would you rather or sometimes a logo or something is like, would you rather have this or this? Is it A or is it B? Again, it's starting this conversation and bringing people into a conversation. When you're on social media, you're here to be social. So when you can have posts that bring people into a conversation, you start building a relationship with them. So A or B, get their input. And I'm telling you, when you get their input, they feel like they're like in the process with you. Like, yeah, do this logo. This logo is awesome. Even if you already know what the logo is going to be, put it out there and see what your people want, because it could be totally different things. And you want your people to resonate with you, right? So just ask them what they want.
Just throw some examples out here. So
throw stuff out all you want.
So we had one client, Seth. He came into our program and he was in for about a week or so. And he was like, hey guys, like to us, like, what should I name my group? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm not your people. Go ask your people. And so he went and asked his people, hey, do you like this name of my group or do you like this name of my group? And so Seth was a coach and a consultant, and he had two different people reach out to him from that post, the A or B post on the name of his group. One hired him for coaching, that was $3,000. The other one said, hey, we owe you $30,000 for consulting. We want to pay you that, and then also pay you another 3 months and a half. So, and then I don't know how it worked out, but it was like being $73,000 worth of clientele from that post. And now it could have been way more because they could have kept him on as consulting anyways, but that's what we knew in that small period of time, all from an A-B post. Now, I also want to touch on, yes, absolutely will be. So we have another aspect. Can you scroll up to the overcoming objections post? So I want to like really frame this. And I want you to watch what we're doing while we're doing this. So who here has think that they need tech? Like you need to be like technically savvy to really have a lot of success in coaching online. I'm just curious. So so a lot of people have this objection or this limiting belief, because if you think of objections as limiting beliefs, then you're helping them break through these limiting beliefs. And then if they decide to hire you, high five. If they just go on living their life without that limiting belief in their life, freaking I high five also. So it's great. We had a client, Amber, that she was so not technically savvy that when she went to go nomadic, she sold her house, went to go nomadic, and lost 70% of her clientele when she went to go nomadic because she had no clue how to do a Zoom. This was like pre-pandemic, so not a lot of people were doing it, but she didn't know how to do a Zoom online. That's how like untechnically savvy she was. We worked with her not just to learn the Zoom thing, but also to really move her business online. Holly ended up working with her to package her program a little bit better. She was charging $17,000 for the year, which is great, but she got it up to $33,000. She worked with wealthy people, and she ended up signing 6 clients in 6 weeks, 138K of signed agreements. She I know that sounds great. She probably, how much did she collect? It's around about $80,000 in that 6-week period. The rest of it was on paying plan. So those, if you think of these like limiting beliefs, what are the limiting beliefs that your clients have from hiring you? And then go, okay, well, what are the clients that I've had that had those same limiting beliefs and how they were able to bust through them and go, I can do this anyways. We had one client, she was literally living in a tent out in the woods because she was neurally divergent, and she was living in a tent because society wasn't working for her. So Holly worked through the energy stuff, energy work to clear out a lot of stuff to get her way more grounded so that she could actually live back in society. She also was living in a tent because she didn't have a lot of money on hand. She was able to find the money she went to a family member and they loaned her the money to get started in her program. So somebody that was living in a tent was able to find the money to invest in her program, and she went off to do, sign $4,000 clients on a consistent basis. I
think she's had a $10,000 month.
Okay, sweet, high five. So now she's at a $10,000 month.
Can you imagine going from, I just got chills going from a tent to
$10,000, being somebody that was so, like neurodivergent, not being able to live in society in a tent, to living in full society, being able to really make a difference in that with those people, and having $10,000 months. Right. So what did I do there? Right. So if anybody here has like things in their mind, like, I don't know if I could find the money. Somebody that was living in a tent was able to find the money to invest into our program. Like, I'm not saying that you could, but it definitely gives you a like, oh shit, like if they could do it, maybe I could do it too. I could find that resources. If somebody here considers themselves neurodivergent and you're like, oh, I don't know if I could succeed in my coaching business because I'm neurodivergent. Well, boom, that handles that, right? So
it's all about creating in your design and who you are and embracing it. I think neurodivergent people are like superhumans. They're the most incredible people I know. Yeah. So Davika, you are very welcome. We actually have quite a few neurodivergent. We just attract them because they're amazing.
So it's like just taking a look at like your client stories. What was their limiting crap when they came in? How did they get through it? And how did they have amazing results regardless? Right? And how you can use that. And not just your clients, you too, because you've overcome a ton of crap in your life.
Yep. So now this last one, this one is important because we're here to get clients, right? So this invite, a lot of times people, you know, they have all this value. I know Chad's like dying to get on the whiteboard now as I'm bringing this up. But you want to actually invite people to work with you. You know, if you go back to human design, some people only work like they'll just keep their mouth shut until you like, hey, would you like to come? Or like, hey, this is going on. Like you have to let people know what it is that you're up to. You're not selling people, you're like letting people, hey, this is what I'm doing. Would you like to come? Let me know. Do you have anything you want to add to
Well, I guess it would be an invite. I believe that's where we're at, right? So
Uh-huh.
we have one assignment actually for this at the end of this challenge. One is the so if who's really curious to know more about the human design stuff and how that really works in attracting your clients. How could you I don't know, could you drop the link or the
Yeah,
website?
I'll absolutely drop it. So let me drop the link where you can get your chart for free. And so then you can see for yourself, you can look it up tonight and see like, are you a defined head center or are you not a defined head center? And ultimately, like how that relates to content is how you get your inspiration is whether it's with other people, you know, Pinterest is a great place. I would also say, oh, you're a reflector. That's amazing.
We have to wait until next month to make a decision.
We worked with a couple of reflectors. What was I saying? I got totally off track because you don't see a lot of reflectors. I only have a few friends that are like, I can count them on the top, like four fingers now. Before it was like 3. And so what that means, if you're like all open, you definitely need inspiration from others, like going out there. I will say if you have an open, I'm a projector too, high five. So if you have an open head center, if you scroll a lot through content, like you have to be very mindful of what you're putting in here because this is what's inspired, like, and this is for everybody, but when you have an open center, like it can literally bog you down if you're not careful of the type of content that you're consuming because our brains are machines and they're computers. But I noticed I couldn't figure it out for a while. I would be scrolling and my brain would literally get fuzzy and I couldn't think straight and I was getting like, it was just too much info and I was getting like a sensory overload almost. And it didn't work for me. So when I started putting my scroll time, like I literally have it timed now and I only use it for like on the weekends sometimes to decompress for a little bit, but I really only use it for research and to like see what's up with my friends real quick. I don't scroll like I used to. When I found out, I'm like, oh, I have an open head center. This is not good for me to scroll a bunch of content. It just boggles things down.
Awesome. So what was I going to say? Yeah. So we're going to, Aston, could you drop the link to book a call for everybody else? So that's the next invitation. So if you're a projector, I'm inviting you. If you are a manifesting generator, this is something to respond to. If you don't know what you are and you just want support in really like how to structure all this, how your design works with creating content and really creating your program and really creating all your systems and processes and structures and all the things and just really making sure that it's aligned to you, then let's book a call, jump on, we'll see if it's a good fit. Again, nothing for sale on the first call, really on the second call either. It's just really creating a plan and really seeing where you want to go from here and how can we really support you in the best way to make the impact that you're here for. So go ahead, click that link, smash it, pick the time that works for you. Then there's going to be some questions on the next page. Make sure to answer all those questions. There's not a bunch of them, so don't worry. And then hit the submit or whatever. And if we've already have calls booked, I know I got call book with Michael and Janet. And
Michael, perfect. Thanks. See you tomorrow.
For those, and if I missed anybody, Krista, I know we're booking something. And anybody else that is.
And Ashley, just to answer your question, because I did see it. So that's actually the surprise. We're going to be giving at the end of the challenge. So you want to make sure that you are tuned in because that is the bonus.
Oh, yeah, that's so that if you missed what Holly just said, if you stay to the whole challenge, you watch all the days and you get to the end, we give you that Trello board and it gives you all of the structure for all of those.
There's a checklist inside of each card of how to structure all of those different posts.
Yep. Perfect.
Awesome. I love it.
I
I'm just a
appreciate
Trello too. I use it all the time.
Click that link because we are about to shut this off. And if you're, I'm like, you're going to click it and then it goes through and it like goes away, then you know, I don't know, have to message me or something, who knows. And I've been standing for a while, so I might go take like I don't know, go lay on the red light. But go click the link, book your call. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Talk to you later.
See you guys tomorrow.